Arsenal 2, Tottenham 1. Did the best team win? How good was Gabriel, the Arsenal centre-back, in this game? What do we make of Antonín Kinsky's performance? And what do phrases devoid of and bereft of mean? Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Footglish Podcast. My name is Zdenek Lucas and I'm your host. And I should say that I'm an English teacher and this is a podcast for English learners who are also football enthusiasts. I hope my guest is also a football enthusiast. In fact, I know for a fact that he is.
Hello, hi Zdenek. Hello everyone. Yeah, I am. I have been a football enthusiast for at least past 10 years. Yeah. How
Nrup,
about you? How are you going? How are you doing so far?
I'm okay. I have almost fully recovered from the illness that has besieged me in the recent days. But I also want to ask you, Nrup, if you had to get rid of one sport
Hmm.
and you had to pick between cricket and football, which sport
Hmm.
would you go for? Because I know you
I
are a
would go
big
for.
cricket enthusiast as well. So
I am. I am. If I had to get rid of one sport, then I would go for. That's a good question. Probably football because in cricket itself there
oh,
are many formats, and those formats itself are becoming more and more as a separate entity. So there are you can create different games unlike football. Football has always
thank you
been
very
this
much.
90-minute game. Have
Thank
a
you very
nice
much
day.
for featuring on this episode of the Footglish Podcast. Everyone, thanks a lot. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. That's it for today. We don't have a guest, unfortunately, so we will have to leave it there. All right. Of course, I'm just joking. And as you can see, I'm in good spirits. And that's because the team that we both support, that is Arsenal, has just won the North London Derby, which is
Mm.
obviously always a great achievement, especially if the results in the recent days have been so poor. I would say that we didn't go into this game in the right frame of mind because we have recently had two shocking performances in cup games. Am I right?
Yeah, we had back-to-back losses in the cup games. In which one we were knocked out completely, and another one we are almost halfway in that. So yeah, it has been a shocking performance lately. On top of that, we have had some critical uh, injuries and some long-term stuff. Along with having a small squad, it's tough to have a fully fit squad with such an amount of players, and also with the availability. It's tough to
Yeah.
maintain 100% fit players as well. So I'm sure even with the starting lineup, I don't think we have had players that are 100% match fit or maybe 100% match sharpness
That's true. But we managed to bounce back in the
somehow.
possibly for a lot of fans the most important game of the season, the North London Derby, the Tottenham
Mhm,
Hotspur Arsenal Derby.
mhm,
It was
mhm.
happening at the Emirates, right? It was a home game.
It was a home game, and I'm really happy with the score. And after that win, I just checked. I was casually checking the rankings, the standings, and guess what? We have the best home record in the Premier League. I mean, when was the
Best
last
home
time we?
record in the Premier League.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, when was the last time we had such thing? Because I remember in the past few years, we have always been a team that were always good at away games. So we used to be like this away game
Yeah.
monsters, and we would always concede lots of goals at home and have ugly draws. But yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great way to get back after those two poor performances against Manchester United and Newcastle United. So, where do we start with analyzing this game? First of all, can you stop fiddling with whatever you're fiddling with? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry
uh,
about that.
no, that's okay. You can do it one more. I'll let you do it one more time, and then that's it.
Nah. Anyway, it's just my
All right.
screen, so yeah.
No, that's fine. Can't get any worse after what you said at the beginning about football. So, uh, basically, we have to start by saying that we actually went behind in this game.
Mm.
The son of the
Hmm.
Korean striker Son scored the
Son of
first
a
goal.
Hyung, the son of a Min.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I was not surprised, but it was just that I did not prefer it to be them scoring first than us, or them scoring before us could have scored
You
a
do
couple of
not
goals.
prefer it. You do
Yeah,
not
I do
prefer
not.
it.
Yeah, I do not
Well,
because
nobody wants to go behind because it's a psychological moment, right?
sure, but like I was expecting Heung-min Son to score as well because it's been a while since he was in the limelight of the Tottenham games. Usually, it's always Solanke or someone else scoring, and
And he always has a knack
he always has a
for
knack.
scoring
Yeah,
against us as well, right? So
exactly. So yeah, I mean, honestly, in one way, if you look at it, it was uh, we were basically caught off guard because it was during a free kick and nobody man marked him, and it was a deflection goal as well. So
yeah, a wicked
yeah, I mean,
deflection. I
yeah,
think
but still, goal is a goal. So yeah, it was a
it's
bit
good.
nervy, but but I did not have my hopes down because if you look at our moments before that, we have had our moments. We looked strong. We had we looked dominating against them. Basically, they were just prepared for a counter attack. That's
Yeah.
what it looked like with the way how they play their football. But
And
then,
the irony is that
mm,
luck struck, we could say, because we actually were gifted a corner from the
mm,
referee because it wasn't a corner at all,
it
and
wasn't. It
uh,
wasn't.
which makes it hilarious, but also very frustrating for the Spurs fans,
Mm,
obviously. But we managed to score from that corner.
mm,
Uh, I think Kinsky bumped into Antonín Kinskly, the Czech goalkeeper, the new signing of Tottenham. He bumped into one of his own players, and then the ball fell on Gabriel's head, and that's always danger. He did not score directly. Um,
it was an own
he
goal.
just it was an own goal because his header uh, went into Solanke. I think it was
Solanke.
in the end. So Solanke scored an own goal, but it was a good response from us. But not long after that, we scored the winning goal.
Mm. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. That goal was really nice. It was high time that I was expecting it. Uh, yeah, even though we scored the winning goal, I still wasn't satisfied with that goal because you know there's this 2-1 psychology in football games that when you are usually 2-1 up against a team, there's a good chance that they will score back. But
Yeah.
again, I think it's more of a phenomenon or something like that, or I
No,
guess
it's true.
something.
It's true. Yeah,
Mm,
because you're within the reach, sort of, right?
mm,
You just need one goal and anything could happen. But it
yeah,
was enough. So Trossard scored our winner.
mm.
It was a sort of
It was a
long
fantastic
range
goal, sort of a
drive
half,
from
yeah, half volley, I
it,
guess as well.
yeah, something like that. It also bounced. So again, the keeper Antonín Kinskly was a bit suspect. Actually, he didn't seem to be at his best in this game, despite his first two games playing really well for Tottenham. And I heard from their fans that he's a real revelation. But in this game, he seemed to have been a bit. I describe it as either nervously confident or confidently nervous. You can choose whichever one you want.
I think he was confidently nervous because if you look at his previous performances, I think he did well on paper. And you have to remember, it's North London derby, and as of lately, Tottenham have had their uh, Tottenham have had their moments, and they knew that Arsenal they were not at the best. They are having lots of weak points. So I'm
Yeah.
sure that, along with being at Emirates, a stadium with one of the most average attendees in top five
Mhm.
leagues, I think it's a bit intimidating. No,
So you
no,
think the occasion got to him basically, yeah?
yeah, I think so because he's a
Mm.
young guy. He's from Czech Republic, which is not part of the top five leagues, but still, he's playing for Tottenham Hotspur, top six Premier League team.
I was checking the player ratings after the game because I expected him to be quite low, and
Mm.
actually he wasn't one of the worst players of Tottenham.
I
So
don't think
I
so.
think
I think it was probably Poro, no?
yeah, I can't remember, but I think Bissouma or someone like that. Basically,
Uh,
he did all right because he
mm,
managed to catch a lot of crosses and corners. So I think
yeah,
he was all right. But to be
he made
honest,
some good saves.
he
I
made
mean,
some good
at
saves,
this
but there were
point,
also some hairy moments when it came to
mm,
his playing with the ball.
mm,
Ball at his feet. Usually he's very good at this, but it almost looks like Arsenal did their homework on him because they were pressing him really successfully, I thought.
yeah, it's been. I mean, usually Arsenal they always prefer pressing the games, but this time it felt like they were trying harder. They were much more
Yeah,
up front, and it looked like they knew what they are here for. And yeah, I mean, although it did not reward them any goals, I still think that it was enough to intimidate the players and perhaps change the playing style or whatever Tottenham were doing.
yeah. I also heard that basically what Arsenal players were doing is that they were forcing Kinsky to play with his weaker foot.
Mm,
Yeah, so I can't remember whether it's the right or left right now. It doesn't matter. But they were showing him onto his weaker foot, which means really they studied this keeper very well because he's good with his feet, but you can only do so much as a keeper, right? You need your teammates to help you, and I thought in a lot of cases, the Arsenal pressers or players who were pressing were like wasps. They were like 4 or 5 players on Tottenham's defense, and they were like out. Tottenham's defense seemed to be outnumbered in a lot of moments, and that's a surprise to me how effective we were and how we managed to stifle Ange Postecoglou's system in this game.
mm. Yeah, I mean the score doesn't say the reality. Even though it's 2-1, I think we were pretty dominant against them. They had their moment, no doubt, but still, generally speaking, we had the upper hand completely. We could have scored much
Yeah,
more goals. We could have even avoided the goal that was scored by Son. But yeah,
yeah.
it was our game. I'm really happy with it.
All right. Yeah, you're right. I think we deserve to win. If you look at the stats, we dominated the
Mm,
stats, and it was a well-deserved victory. I don't think Tottenham coach can say anything positive about his players, about his performance in this massive game for both
mm,
teams. Nrup, I've got some questions about a few players specifically, a
mm.
few Arsenal players. I'm gonna
Okay.
start with Raheem Sterling because
Mm,
to me, this player just seems to be, and I'm not just talking about this game, but overall, his his spell at Arsenal, he seems to be devoid of confidence and also bereft of any kind of skill. To be honest, which is a deadly combination. If you don't have confidence, if you don't have skill, what do you have? What do you have left? Just your name, and you can't win games, or you can't be good just because of your name, in my opinion. You need to constantly prove yourself in football, in any walk of life that you're involved in.
I absolutely agree with you. Raheem Sterling, if you look at it, he's one of the big Premier League icons because he's been there for I don't know 10 years, I guess, if I'm not wrong. He's been there for
Yeah,
such a long time. I remember him
true.
from the days when he was 18, 19 in Liverpool, and then he went to City, won like two, three titles, and he was a co-player in that. It was not like he was a French player and he was lucky. He was there in those City matches through and through,
And
and
he
he
played
helped them
in the national team as well, in the
as
English
well.
national team, right?
Exactly. And he's still young. I mean, what? How old is he? 29, I think. 28, 29.
30. He's only
Uh,
30.
yeah, he's only 30. Like like he's still around the age where at least they reach their physical peak
Yeah,
or
exactly.
performance peak. So he still has a
And
lot of room left. But it's just that I think the way he exited City and his life at Chelsea, I think it brought on his confidence
yeah,
because I still rate him well, but not well enough to be part of Arsenal's team. I
the
think
problem
I
is,
expected, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, no, but I think one of the issue is that um, he has replaced Bukayo Saka, yeah, and that adds to it because it's such a
Big shoes to
stark
fill.
contrast. You have such a stark contrast of those two players and the
Mm,
impact. they have on the team that these two players are uncomparable. Bukayo Saka is a world class player, and he is involved in so many goals, whether it's assists or goals. He forces the opposition
Corners.
players to press him. He creates a lot of space for other players.
Mm.
Whereas Raheem Sterling, when he has the ball, he stops, and then he's trying to invite pressure on himself. But then once he stops, like it's almost like there's nothing else gonna come out of it. Like he can't dribble past the players anymore. He doesn't have that confidence, or he makes the wrong decision or something. I'm really sorry, but this player is just not good enough.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's here on a loan because he does remind me of Alex Iwobi during his late days at Arsenal. Because he used to be a similar player like Raheem Sterling. They both had this explosiveness. They used to be proper wingers. But then now Raheem Sterling, he's playing more of an inside midfielder, attacking midfielder. He goes more inside. He likes to play in the pocket, but then he's not good at dribbling. Nor does he provide enough crosses or assists. But yeah,
But
well,
he's
he's got
he's
big shoes
probably
to
one of
fill.
the. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's just that he has big shoes to fill, and with the current situation that we have had, I don't think we have got any other better replacement because we cannot depend on Martinelli all the time. Especially on the right side where I don't think it's his strength. So
Yeah.
yeah, and
Oh, you could play
considering
Trossard there. Trossard, I think
yeah,
might be playing.
but I don't think Trossard would like. I don't think from what I've seen in Belgium and in Arsenal, even though he's a left-footed player, he still prefers to play on the left side rather than right side.
Okay. Well, you could also play Martin Odegaard there, and then sacrifice him, put him on the right, and then maybe Trossard
But
from the middle. I don't know. That definitely any other solution is better than Raheem Sterling. It looks like I am biased against this player. I'm picking on him, but it also bothers me that he's probably one of our the highest earners at the club. I'm pretty sure about it. He has the best money. He's on the best money because, of course, he is, right?
yeah, I don't know about that, but I think isn't it covered by Chelsea or
Yeah,
isn't it
but
since he's
well,
on loan?
you think, yeah, but don't we pay some of his salary? I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
Fortunately, I don't have to pay this salary, so I'm good.
yeah. Well, Sterling is definitely a strange player. I
Yeah,
hope that he doesn't end up uh, on the villain side of our team. I hope he has. I hope we have good memories with him because he's still here.
he might
He's just here
he
on a
might
loan.
score he might score the Champions League final winner or something, and then we will all
Yeah,
forgive him, right? You
yeah.
never know. It's
You
football.
never know. Or he
Football is
could
a crazy
score
game.
yeah, let's keep our hope less. Like I would like him to score 2 goals against Newcastle if it's possible, because
Yeah,
that's the nearest objective right now.
true. Maybe ideally a hat trick because we need three
Mm,
goals.
mm.
So what about the player whose name is Louis Scally? What about him?
So Miles Lewis Kelly, I think he's good. He's this typical Pep Guardiola or Arteta type player who wants to play in that inverted fullback or whatever,
Well, he
whatever
actually,
technical.
first of all, you should say he's only 18 years old, so he's
He
an
is. He
academy
is.
product.
He
And
is.
he, from what I heard, is that he played in the youth football. He played center
Mm.
midfielder, and
He
now
was.
because he cannot play there at Arsenal, he was put on the left. I think something similar happened to Bukayo Saka at some part of his career. I think at Arsenal, something like that. Like also didn't always play um, this position. I think he was
Well, of
also a
course.
left
Left
back or
back.
right back.
Yeah, I mean Bukayo Saka, he was made to play left back because of injuries, but
Yeah.
then he was more of a traditional left back than an inverted full back or whatever you call it.
Hmm.
But yeah, Miles Lewis Kelly, I think he's a solid player. I still see him as an English version of Zinchenko, who just likes to play among the pockets, who likes to play as a midfielder more than a full back. I still haven't. I'm still not impressed with his defensive abilities. So,
Hmm.
but again, he's still young. He's got a lot to do. Hopefully, he plays in the midfield in the future. That's what I think, or that's what I hope.
Yeah.
but I think he's doing well. Personal preference would be Tierney in for me, but I don't know what's up with Tierney, like if he's still fit or if he's not in the plans. But yeah,
There's
to
a
me,
reason
Ashley
he's not
Woods.
playing,
Yeah,
So
I know. But like there are many reasons because I remember last interview or press conference, Arteta said that he just recovered from a long term injury, so he doesn't have the match sharpness, and he's
yeah,
afraid that he might get injured again. But a fully fit Tierney and a fully fit Miles Lewis Kelly, I would prefer Tierney. I just love
yeah,
him as a player.
yeah. Okay, well that's fair. That's fair, but I think since
But yeah,
he's
the
such a
future is
cross,
bright for Miles Lewis Kelly. I just
exactly.
hope that
He's
I just hope that he doesn't leave like another player. I forgot his name, but like he left for Chelsea or something. I think it's probably Hutchinson. If I'm not wrong,
my
or some
yeah.
player who left for Chelsea for a bigger
Mm.
money. So I
Oh,
just hope that he stays.
who would do that?
Well, we have got Ashley Cole.
Yeah, but that's Cashley. His name was Cashley. That was his
Yeah.
nickname, Cashley Cole. Right, and finally, the player that was picked as the man of the match by commentators, Gabriel.
Mm, mm.
Not Batistuta, not Gabriel
Jesus.
Martinelli, but not Gabriel Jesus, who is unfortunately torn his ACL, I think, but Gabriel
Gabriel
Magalhaes,
Magalhaes.
our
Yeah,
our
well,
center defender.
mm, I think he's been our best player in the past 2, 3, 4 games, I guess. He's been
Yeah,
solid. Like he just looks sharp. He looks much better than William Saliba as of now because if you look at our previous goals, it's always coming from William Saliba's side, and he's doing it. I mean, Gabriel, he's doing his job perfectly. If I'm not wrong, his work rate, it has all been great. Like whenever he concedes or makes a mistake, he makes sure that he shows his fans that no, I'll recover from that. I'll give to you guys much better
yeah,
things. He's a
and
proper player, proper team player.
and his celebrations are incredibly fun to watch as well.
Yeah, his celebrations, his voice, especially because I remember whenever there is an awkward or weird silence, I would always hear this high pitched scream from Gabriel, and I would always laugh at him like, "Come on, this guy, he's
Yeah,
hilarious! Like, he's so funny." But at the same time, he's a warrior. Like,
he's a warrior, but with not so masculine voice, basically.
mm, he's got lots of things in his abilities, and I was really
Yes.
glad because we needed that goal, and we needed that from him, especially because it's been a while since we have scored from a corner. It's been a while since we have scored from an attacker as well. So it's usually the defenders that cover up the game.
Okay, well, let's have a moment of silence for Tottenham now. One win out of 9 Premier League games. It reminds me of Manchester City a little bit and their crisis, who, by the way, have lost a game in which they were 2-0 up. Was it against Brentford? I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was hilarious as well. But Tottenham, yeah, the only thing that, like, the only reason I don't wish Tottenham to, uh, get relegated this season and to completely lose it, to completely be out of it, is Antonín Kinský, the Czech goalkeeper. Now I have at least some sympathy for Tottenham, right? Because uh, it's a Czech player and I have to support
mm.
him. But I'm terribly, terribly sorry, but I am happy that Arsenal won this game. I'm sorry, Antonín Kinský.
Yeah. Well, Tottenham 1 win in 9 games. That's some form, I would say, considering how they were last season and considering how the squad looks
Yeah.
like.
And we
But
also have to say that us, Arsenal, we managed to close the gap a little bit. Yeah, we are closing the
mm,
gap because
mm,
Liverpool, they did not win their game against Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham, mm,
They drew 1-1, so points dropped, which is
yeah,
great. And we
pressure
managed
on
to
them.
take advantage of that. We capitalized on that with this win. So I think we are now 4 points behind. Obviously, Liverpool have one game in hand, but still, I think it's a great achievement for us, and long may it last.
Yeah, long may it last. I'm not surprised because many people say that Liverpool they won't lose any game or something, but It's not about losing; it's about dropping points. If you lose 2 games, or if you draw 3 games, you still drop 6 points.
Yeah, and
So
you
at
lose
the end,
momentum, and it's about that
exactly.
confidence, and it can be quite fragile. It can
Yeah,
be.
you just
Look,
get
look what's happening to
exactly.
City.
Mm,
Tottenham, 13th position now, 13th place.
mm,
They are even behind West Ham. The
mm.
struggling West Ham. Now West Ham is ahead of Tottenham. Look at Manchester United. I think this season is so crazy. Anything could happen. We could even see Nottingham Forest winning the title this season.
Oh
You never
man,
know.
please don't say that. I've been traumatized because I recently saw Facebook. Or I recently saw and it's a social media post where they were comparing like Leicester City, where they
Yeah.
were in the title winning season, and where Nottingham Forest won it, and they were pretty close, and those are pretty close numbers. And yeah, I just hope that they don't do that. I hope Nottingham Forest just helps us win the league, becomes does what Arsenal did for Leicester basically.
Yeah, well, too much would have to go in their favor. Stars would have to really align for Nottingham Forest to win. But wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, it would be such a story. As
For a
much
neutral
as
fan,
much
yeah,
as much as I want Arsenal to win, I think this would be my second preferred option if Nottingham
sure,
Forest
yeah.
win it.
Same here, same here. Yeah, we
All
definitely
right.
need a
Well,
new face.
pardon. We need a new
Yeah,
face.
we need a new face for the
Oh,
for this season.
okay. I thought you mean we need a new face on the Footglish podcast, but no, no, no. We will stick with the usual faces. One of them is Nrup, of course. Thank you very much, Nrup, for uh, for your appearance today and for your performance as well, and for managing to stay on the pitch, not receiving a red card or anything like that, for not getting injured.
Well, I did receive a yellow for my first statement,
You got a
but I'm
yellow, but
glad.
that's just a
I'm glad.
warning. Yeah,
Yeah.
just don't pick up too many yellows, otherwise you get suspended. But I
Mm.
think one yellow is, it's fine. One
Yeah,
one
one for the team.
swallow doesn't make a spring, right?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for bringing me into this show. It's been a while, and thank you, listeners, for listening to our talk. I think,
Yeah,
uh,
you're very welcome. And don't forget that the Footglish podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, the usual apps, and on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. But also, most of these podcasts are on the Teachers Zdenek YouTube channel, where you can see our lovely faces.
mm,
So if you are there, give us a like as well. It goes a long way. All the way from India, this was Nrup, ladies and gentlemen, and Zdenek, currently in Thailand. So
wow,
take care and have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.
bye bye.
Welcome back to the Language Corner. The episode itself, the interview with Nrup, was pretty long, so I think we can keep this one short and sweet. Just to remind you, in this part of the show, I'm going to be an English teacher. It almost sounds like I'm pretending to be an English teacher. I'm an imposter. No, I'm not. It's actually my profession. I am a qualified English teacher, in fact, so I should know what I'm doing. Anyway, this time I will be explaining 2 items of vocabulary, 2 phrases. I said in the episode that Spurs or Tottenham, I can't exactly remember, I said that they were devoid of ideas and bereft of skill. And both devoid and bereft are used to indicate a lack or absence of something, but they have a slightly different nuance. And notice how they are also both used with the preposition of. Basically, if you're bereft of something, it implies that there's a sense of loss or deprivation. It often carries some kind of emotional or dramatic tone, right? So often we use it with the word hope, for example. You could say, they were bereft of hope in this game. They were bereft of ideas. I said bereft of skill. I guess you can use it as well like that. And I hear often commentators use these 2 phrases almost interchangeably. In the same way, you can be devoid of options, devoid of ideas. It's like a lack of options, lack of ideas. And devoid the word void, it means emptiness, right? So to be devoid of something means that there is a complete absence of something, absolute emptiness. But this one is slightly more neutral and less emotional than bereft of. But at the end of the day, they more or less mean the same. Well, I hope you didn't think that in this episode of the Footglish Podcast, Nrup and I were devoid of ideas and bereft of insight, let's say. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, why don't you leave a comment on the YouTube channel, on the Teacher Zdenek YouTube channel, where this episode also will be published. There is an audio version, which you can get wherever you get your podcasts. And then there's a video version on the YouTube channel. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening, and I will speak to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.